I thought that I started working in my mind. Back in that.
Good morning. People at once. All right, thank you all for coming. All right, good morning. So we have the Office of the Attorney General. So we are very honored to have.
Oh, no.
Have some sixth graders, seventh graders, eighth graders here. My name is Austin Fortuno, and I'm a paralegal here working for the Attorney General's office. Anyone familiar? Anyone know what the Attorney General does? What his job is? Well, lucky for you, we have a special guest joining us here today. We have the Attorney General himself, who will be speaking in a few minutes. I do wanna, get our blood running. There's still a little icebreaker activity to have everyone raise their left hand up high. Left hand, make sure that. All right, you guys do that? Make sure it's out. Okay, now, keep your left hand up high, raise your right hand up high. Keep your left hand up high, all right? And go ahead and give yourself a round of applause for the people So, topics for today, right? Several topics that are, of course, very important to you guys as middle school students. Well, we're going to talk about cyberbullying, very important topic. Delve a little bit about school violence, making sure, right, that we are being respectful to each other. And of course, talking about substance abuse, right? When we see in the homes, when we see with our friends. Very important topics that, of course, our Attorney General will be speaking about. And so without further ado, please, let's give a round of applause for the Attorney General, Juan Galvez. Good morning. Welcome to your principal. I'm not sure here you but Rita, Will, my principal here, join us with Juan.
Vice Principal, Brenda Milan. To all the other teachers here, thank you for having our office, and to all of you students. I still remember when I was in middle school at Bishop Gardner in Sinahania. So I smile when I see all your faces. You remind me of myself and all of my story. So, again, thank you for letting me be here. How many of you guys know what an attorney is? Exactly. The lawyer, the attorney that you guys see on TV and that you guys hear about in the news, that's what we are at the Attorney General's office, primarily the attorney. And that is what the Attorney General is by definition, right? An attorney, and then it says general, which means that it's kind of like the person that has to manage other attorneys. Do you guys know if the Attorney General is elected or appointed? Elected. The Attorney General is elected. So who elects me? Who elects the Attorney General? Your Attorney General. Your parents. All you guys, once you get 18 years old, like the lawyer in the Constitution, you have all these rights as an adult. That's a very important age that you guys need to remember as we're talking about everything up here. Remember that 18 years old, once you become an adult, you have all these rights and all these responsibilities, and one of your greatest rights is to elect your leaders in the American democracy that we all learn about and live in. I'm elected. You guys are my boss. You guys are my client. Your parents and the people involved are the client. You know, you got an attorney, right? And then you have a client. Like a doctor has a patient, an attorney general has a client. The private attorneys have maybe your parents, you as their single client, but the attorney general has a broader type of duty. All of you elect me on what I promise, and then during my 4 years, I do what I promise. And that's very important to me. This is the second time that I've been honored to be your attorney general. The first time, I think you guys were born. 2002, the election, 16, 17 years ago, I was the first elected attorney general. As we all used to have an appointed attorney general, where the governor appoints. But the people wanted more direct accountability. So if the attorney general doesn't do what you want the attorney general to do, then they replace them, usually at every election. So two things, when you think attorney general, think what hat that the attorney general wears is like a police officer. So the attorney general can literally have you talk to a judge and a jury to decide whether or not your freedom is taken away. The other side is where the attorney general gives legal advice and represents you so that you don't lose money, we as a community won't lose money, or we get the money that's due us as a community, as a government. So 4-year term for the attorney general, 4 years of service, elected by your parents, by the citizens of the United States, sort of big. I have about 200 people under me in the Attorney General's office. Primarily, it's the attorneys that go into court, that like your parents. Have any of your parents talked about going to a jury, having to serve on a jury? When you get put on a jury, you're usually the best of our community. You can't have any felony convictions. You can't be a criminal. So when your parents go into a jury, it's service. It's not about the money. It's about sitting there like all of you and listening to a story. And that's what we do as attorneys in the court, is we tell the jury a story on a criminal case. We tell them why this person hurt somebody else, and then the law says that they need to be put in jail. This criminal case. The attorney general is a law enforcer. Okay, if you take anything away from this, realize that the attorney general, 3 branches of the government, right? You guys have had government or civics. 3 branches of government: executive, judicial, and legislative branch. The legislature passes the law. The attorney general is responsible to make sure that that law is enforced. But if the senators make a mistake and pass a law that violates the Constitution, the attorney general also has to go into court and say to the judges, the law is not good, you need to strike that law. So the attorney general isn't just a robot. The attorney general has to listen to the community, has to understand the law, and then has to enforce the law. At the end of the day, the Attorney General has to enforce the law. It's like your parents, right? Your parents have to enforce the household. When they tell you to do something, you gotta do it, right? They're the Attorney General for your lives up until 18 years old. Do what they say or else. That's like the teachers, they're the enforcers. Learn or you shouldn't be in school. Consequences, right? Bad acts, bad consequences. And at the end of the day, you're also, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, the way you want to live your life, always remember one word: respect. You respect one another, you respect those around you, and you respect yourselves, and you will live a long and happy life. We talk about substance abuse. Substance abuse, you're not respecting yourself, and you're not respecting others, because taking drugs or alcohol puts you in a condition that threatens other people and threatens your own lives. So, having said that, let's start down our agenda here. Let's talk a little bit about school violence. Okay, you guys are here to learn, right? But as teenagers, as young kids, you guys also understand that you need to interact with one another in your learning process, right? So school violence obviously is wrong. Anybody want to debate me on that? Usually not. So, but what do you do in a situation where somebody is bullying someone else? What's usually the first response when you see on the playground or in your class when the teachers come in, when one student is bullying another student, slapping them around, hitting them, things like that? I heard a word there. What do you do in those situations?
Somebody to stop.
Okay, I think his other word that he used was defend. In the law, they have self-defense, right? They also have defense of others. Those are those things, the common sense things. When you're in school, you're seeing school violence, you do not, as a first reaction, take out your cell phone and start going viral with it. The gentleman in this audience today, the most chivalrous thing that a gentleman can do in your age is to defend the helpless. Defend the person that another person is bullying. Reserve the peace until the teachers come in and report it immediately. That's what school violence is about. School violence is not about pulling your cell phone out and videoing it so that everybody can laugh at your friend, or even if it's not your friend, getting pummeled by somebody else. Nobody likes that, right? And in your world, you know what Department of Youth Affairs means? It's like Department of Corrections, it's like prison for kids. Okay, so that's the bad act, bad consequence. If you bully somebody, if you violate their rights, and you may be minors, but you all have rights. You have the right not to be harassed. You have the right not to be bullied. You have the right not to be touched. And if somebody violates that right, the law will protect you. Okay, and the person violating your right may end up at Department of Youth Affairs, go before a judge, be kept away from their parents, away from your homes, not able to go to a regular school. Those kids up at DYA, they don't go to your school if they get pulled out of your school. They go to a special school. So being a bully should not be something that you guys aspire to. It happens. But being a white knight or a person that defends somebody else is really very key in your life. Protect people that need protection. You become an attorney general, you become a police officer, you become a law enforcer, you become a friend. Okay? We've had situations in our community. Once you get 18 years old, what happens? You can be charged as an adult. That's the difference between the Department of Youth Affairs and the Department of Corrections. And where all those criminals are, the adults, the people that you read about in front of the newspaper, the murderers, rapists, robbers, things. That's reserved for the adults that go to the Department of Corrections. Prison. GYA is for the minors like you guys. You're given one chance in life as a minor. If you violate that chance, you can be charged as an adult. Does anybody know what age that you can be charged as an adult if you do certain things? No, you're not 18. I heard it over there. 16. What's possible? Is usually first degree felony. Then they have second degree felony, like you rob somebody, you push them, you take their money, and get them a few times. You can be charged second degree felony for a 16-year-old. For those of that maybe 16 years old, you could automatically be charged as an adult. Okay, you rape somebody, you touch a girl, and you touch a boy in an improper fashion. You could be charged as an adult. Okay? And that always goes back to this idea of what I said. Respect one another. Don't touch people, don't say things negatively about people. Just be concerned about yourself. Okay? So from 16 to 18, from 16 to 17, you can be charged as an adult. In this case, this is a Simon Sanchez incident. This is a billboard that we had on the side of the road 2 months ago. How many of you seen our billboards? Pages off this cover. Right, driving on the side of the road, see these billboards. There's 3 locations of our billboard. One's Benavente overpass, the other one is at V.S.A, and then the other one is at Benavente, and then the Benavente intersection. So we had 3 billboards. Why did I put it up? It was to talk to my clients, to talk to all of you. In order for the Attorney General to effectively communicate, we need to put up messages to deter crime. We don't want crime to occur, right? Sometimes when people see that, this one was geared towards you guys. This was back in January 2024. This billboard was up, and it was especially at the Benavente intersection. You were distinctly, but all of them are usually the same. This was an 18-year-old man that assaulted, punched another person at Simon Sanchez school. It went viral. This idea where you guys are seeing on your cell phone and you're laughing and thinking that this is cool, this is this guy's he's the bomb, whatever. That's what happened to that guy. He went viral. They put that light on the internet, YouTube, whatever. And then the police and Attorney General's office went after him. Guys, this school is for learning. It's not for proving yourself that you're the toughest person. It's about learning. It's about respect. It's about following authority. What is the best thing that you guys can do for yourself? Education. When you're educated, you're less likely to become a criminal because you respect the law, you know the law. Okay? So that's my comments on violence. You have assault, you have battery. Assault is when you touch somebody, you push them, but assault can also be you threaten them. Like you go up to one of your friends and you say that I'm going to kick your ass after school. Or I'm going to see you at the bus station and I'm going to beat the hell out of you. Those are the things that will get you at DYA. Those are the things that are going to get you pulled out of school and put with Department of Youth Affairs to be with the other problem kids. Okay. So it's a no-no. Violence. We got some gifts for everybody, so.
All right, so again, very important, right? Violence, all about respect. I don't think everyone was paying attention. All right, so as the general mentioned, we do have some gifts for the students who pay extra close attention to the presentation. Can anyone point at Eric and Eagle? Is he in the room? Where is he? He's over there. Well, Eric here is holding a little gift bag for you all with a little tiny Eric. Eric, can you show them the little tiny Eric over there? There you go. Little tiny Eric. All right. So I'm going to be throwing questions throughout these presentations. I'm going to throw one question out there for the topic of school violence. So hopefully everyone was paying attention. Can anyone, of course, raise your hand and then say your name and ask your question. Can anyone tell me what are ways that you can stop school violence, right? The first hand over there, I'm gonna take a shot at it. First hand went up over here. Say your name and then give your answer. What is one way that you can stop school violence? All right. Anyone else want to take a, okay, all right, I'm doing one over here. You gotta go ahead and say your name and give your answer. This is one way you can stop school violence. You can report it. My name is V.S.A. You can report it to an older person. It's a lot. So we got another presentation. We're gonna have this little feedback. So make sure you pay extra close attention to your training time. Now the teacher is gonna speak a little bit about cyberbullying.
Okay, guys, so the next topic we're talking about something that I think everybody in this room has had experience with, the internet, right? What are the two most powerful things about the internet? Hearing it yet? There's two things that the internet has brought to the world. Okay, that is an effect. The two most important things that the internet has brought to the world is information and communication. Those are the two things that these devices have that we never had before. In the 1990s, that's when the first internet started to come out. You know, the dial-up, that whole thing where you're using telephones in order to get on the internet. I was pre-internet and then went into the internet in the 1990s, guys. The two things that this cell phone, that your iPads, that your electronic smartphones do, you can quickly get information and you can quickly communicate. Okay? Information. In the old days, you guys even know what a library is anymore? My God. The library had books in them, encyclopedias and every other type of book, and you literally, when the teacher gave you the assignment, you needed to go camp out at a library, call your mom, take you down to the Canyon Library, so that you can open a book and then do your work. Now you guys know the power of Google and all of the other search engines, right? We didn't do that before. That is very powerful. Now, communication. Communication can be good and bad. That's what cyberbullying is about. Okay, guys? It's taking, you guys are, your prepubescent, your teenagers, your kids that are learning how to live in the world that we're living in. You have peer pressures, you have a lot of different emotions, that are hormones, whatever you guys want to call it. You're not adults yet. So one of the things that the law, the adults have seen is that you're abusing the internet. Okay? That is an adult tool that you guys are touching right now. And I believe that nobody should have a cell phone in school. You're here to learn, you're not here to one of those electronic devices. That's a conversation that the superintendent, your teachers, and your parents can have to go through. With that phone, that ability to one person to send out messages to all of you at one time, we couldn't do that in the past. You have to get everybody together physically to talk to them, or start using your phone and start calling all your friends and saying that this person did this to that person and spread rumors, right? Rumors are what cyberbullying is a part of, okay? Spreading, communicating things that you shouldn't be communicating, okay? Cyberbullying is a communication that you're trying to hurt somebody else by using the internet. Spreading a lie, saying that this girl does this, or spreading a lie that this guy did that. It's meant to hurt, and that's why the law will punish you for that, okay? It goes back to what I said. You respect somebody, and you're not going to be spreading lies or rumors on the internet. The law talks about harassment, intimidation, bullying. Does anybody know what bullying is? Bullying. Right? Easy. Is that Mr. King? Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. You're using your cell phone, your computer, your iPad to spread things about somebody else. That's not respectful, right? How would you like it if somebody did that to you? That's usually the best test. When you go on the internet, go under your social medias and start to spread things about somebody. How would you like it if they did it to you? If you don't like it, there's a probability that somebody's going to be coming to you like a teacher or a principal and taking you out of class and having you explain, why did you say this about this person? You guys know about those kids that are going to that are going to, I think this is one today, taking firearms into school and shooting everybody. You guys have all heard about that, right? When you listen to those stories, do you realize that the person that's doing it oftentimes is a person who was the victim of a bullying? That because somebody picked up their cell phone and said something nasty about somebody else, it hurt them. So what did they do? They felt powerless. They had an opportunity because maybe their parent had a firearm and then brought it to school and hurt people. It's wrong to do that, obviously, right? You can't do that, you shouldn't do that, that's wrong. But it probably, and many times, it was because they were the victim of a bully. Everybody wants to feel good in going to school, they want to feel good in their lives, they want to go home, they want to feel dignity, right? We all want to be respected as people. Cyberbullying undermines that, it hurts other people. Cannot be done, should not be done, and the law will take you out of school and probably put you in TYA, that place that you don't want to go to. Okay? So, anybody have any questions on cyberbullying? Any questions? I don't care how you need to ask them. Because those are important questions. Just don't do it, respect one another. Realize that these devices can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay. Also, if any of you want to be lawyers, be careful, because what do they say on the internet? Once on the internet, you're never going to be able to erase it. Be very careful. Did you know that people that ask for jobs when they're adults, part of the boss, the employer, they start looking on the internet to find out about you. Usually, you don't want them to find out something bad about you on the internet, because maybe you express on the internet, and your boss is going to say, we don't want that type of person working for us. Okay, so from your own personal point of view, I would recommend don't be posting so many things on the internet, because even when you try to erase it, it's probably talking somewhere. Okay? That's a practical side of life. Don't set yourselves up for failure because you say something on that internet or you throw a photo, ladies, on the internet or guys. Don't think you're going to be able to click erase and it's gone. Okay? So be very careful of those things about it.
Thank you. All right, hopefully everyone's paying attention, right, to our cyberbullying topic. I'm gonna go ahead and again have Eric Eagle stand up. Anyone see him? All right, I'm gonna ask one question. On the topic of cyberbullying, if everyone's paying attention. Okay. So let's say you're online, someone is persistently saying mean things to you, right? What is it called? It's cyberbullying. So you know what's happening to you. What do you do? All right, raise your hand. Okay, got one right here. Go ahead and say your name and tell us what do you do. Yeah.
All right, let's get them around the pause.
And the role, and one more very important part, right, is you need to speak to an adult. You need to tell them that it needs to stop, that they should not be engaging in whatever it is that they're doing, because again, as in many ways, they could be breaking the law, right? Just like any other forms of bullying, harassment, it's intimidation, it's threatening, it's against the law. All right, we have one more topic that the Attorney General is going to be speaking with you guys with, and it'll be on the topic of substance abuse. He's going to be explaining some of the things that you guys are seeing here at the front with these images. Substance abuse is a very wide topic, and so I'll have the Attorney General speak to you guys.
Okay, guys, so substance abuse. Look at those two words, substance and abusing it. Okay. Does anybody know what that means? There's not some questions out there. Anybody know what that means? Substance abuse. You guys being muted? That's a fancy word for certain things that, yes. Drugs is one of them, yes. Alcohol is another one. Another one. Okay, so let's talk about substances, guys. So certain substances are proven to be not only bad for you, but considered illegal. Okay, so the examples that were given, like cigarettes, for your purposes, until you reach 18, just assume that everything that was said in here will get you kicked out of school or put at DUA. Cigarettes, vape, definitely alcohol, definitely drugs. When we talk about drugs, guys, let's talk about drugs. What do I mean when we say drugs? What? Nicotine? That's okay. Nicotine and tobacco, that is a drug. THC type of it's a drug. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay, so what? Bad? Yeah, badly. That's crystal badly. So guys, what I'm trying to say here is that certain drugs that your parents take, certain substances that your parents take are legal because they're adult. Okay? Cigarettes, alcohol, if you're over 18, or over 21, even alcohol can't take when you're an adult. It's gotta be up to 21. Then you can drink alcohol. Okay? Now, recognize that for every drug, there is an effect on your body. And that's what science is showing now. You smoke cigarettes and you're gonna end up with cancer and dying unable to breathe. Okay? You take too much alcohol and you're also gonna have the same effect that you're gonna end up dead usually from cancer or some form of cirrhosis in your liver, can no longer process the alcohol because it killed you. Okay, too much alcohol. Also recognize, this is what I was taught when I was in middle school. Virtue lies in the middle. Too much of anything is bad for you in life. It doesn't matter what it is. Too much of anything can be bad for you in life. Substance abuse. So the most dangerous thing from the Attorney General's office, because there are laws against taking certain substances, okay? Laws against taking these drugs like crystal methamphetamine, which is meth. This slide photo here. Well, Guam's worst problem right now is meth. People that are stupid enough to take that drug. Does anybody know when that drug was created? Methamphetamine. Does anyone know who created that drug and when it was created? It was called Benavente in the past and was created during World War II. The Germans, you know, the Nazis, the ones that almost conquered the world, they created that. Why did they create that? Not exactly. The Germans created amphetamine, created the super soldier, so that when they were fighting, the German soldiers were fighting, that they could fight better than the other soldiers. They could get hit with a bullet and they could still function. It was considered a drug to make a super soldier. What did they find out when they started giving their troops that drug? They were becoming like lab rats, that they lost their senses and they started to just want the drug. They would do anything to have the drug. That is what Guam and everybody else is facing right now, is that people that think that they can take that drug and be like alcohol, where you feel good for a while, and then everything can still function. Methamphetamine, meth, ice, those words that we're using here, not only will it change your brain so that you become like a lab rat, that all you want to do is take things from people so you can go buy your meth, the addict, they call it. It will eventually kill you. Okay? You take enough drugs, remember, too much of anything is bad. Too much of some things will end up killing you. You guys like your teeth? You realize that you're not going to get any more teeth, right? You get your baby teeth, those fall out, and then you get your permanent teeth, right? I used to represent a dentist on Guam that said that he could tell who the drug addicts were that came into his clinic, get their teeth worked on. How do you think he could tell? Doping. They lost their teeth. What's even more, when they try to get a replacement tooth, and they put it in the jaw, right? They try to get a replacement so they're not looking dopey. The implant won't stay in. When you're a drug addict, everything in your body starts to fail. And the first indicators are your teeth start falling out. And when you go to the dentist, try to keep in a new tooth, the implant, it falls out because your body is responding to these drugs. Okay? Some drugs will affect you faster than others. Ice, meth, this is crystal methamphetamine, that powder and the crystal that you see, that will affect you faster. Okay? And one last question on meth. What is the organ that is most affected by meth? It's the brain. That is affected. But which is the one that's going to kill you if it doesn't operate? It's right down here. The heart. Our medical examiner in 2023, 1 in 17 bodies that he autopsied had meth in the system. And how did they die? Most of them? Your heart. Heart failure. Meth, these drugs, guys, affect your heart. Can you fix your heart? No. You cannot. When you get a heart attack, when there's no blood in your heart, your capacity when you were born is 100% pumping. As you get older, naturally you start to pump less. You take the drugs and it's gonna pump much less. So like 50%, once you're at 50%, there's no way that you can increase it to 60%, 51%. Throughout your life, your heart will slowly start pumping less. It's a muscle. And meth destroys the muscle. And you'll die without your blood pumping, obviously, right? So, does anyone have any particular question on substance abuse? Yes. And well, keep on using meth, and you're gonna be in the mental hospital. So, and that's not a joke, guys. If you see the people that are meth addicted, the providers start asking the question, are they meth addicted or are they mentally disabled? God gave you guys brains, you're using it while you're here. When you take drugs, it affects your brain cells, your electrical function in your brains. And you take meth, and it will start to make you look and act like meth addict. Meth addict, read the newspapers, guys. You see all the police pulling over those cars, finding meth possession? Read the articles and see what it says. It's not just the police officer pulls the car over because they couldn't drive straight. The person gets out of the car, and what does he start doing? Running. Nope, doesn't run. He looks at the police officer and starts answering the police officer's questions while he's scratching his face, while he's dancing, or she's dancing in front of the police officer. Your brain starts to lose consciousness of what's around you. They call it delusion. You start seeing things, you start hearing things, you start acting abnormally. What is that in life? It's like a person who is mentally defective, right? Like a person who's born with the handicap. That's why when you say mentally special ed, God gives you guys talent, He gave you guys healthy bodies, and meth destroys your healthy body, your gift. And at some point, it takes your life. So that's why it's important that you guys understand that. By the way, on the side, anyone that tries to give you this stuff, gives you marijuana free, immediately report them to the principal. Because that's what the drug dealers are doing. They want to get you addicted first, and then charge you. Once you're addicted, and you'll do anything to get another dose of the drug, that's when they have you hooked. That's when they have you as your customer. Okay? Anybody have any questions? Remember, substance abuse includes many different things. Okay? Also, guys, when you go to the doctor, your mom goes to the doctor, your dad goes to the doctor, and the doctor prescribes your parents some sort of a drug. That also can be substance abuse. When you go to your mom's medicine cabinet or your dad's medicine cabinet and take the drug and you guys start taking it. Certain drugs are not allowed to be given to people unless the doctor and the pharmacist give you that drug. That's also substance abuse. It doesn't just have to be meth. It can be any drug that you're not supposed to have without a prescription, without a doctor giving it to you. They normally call it opioids. Okay. So, question.
So when they gave Attorney General this one, Alright, so we're gonna ask some questions. Make sure everyone was paying attention. Alright, first question, we're gonna talk right off the topic of substance abuse. And this is very relevant, maybe not now, because you're in middle school, but definitely when you step into high school, when you reach those ages, so something to keep in mind. So my question is, raise your hand, and of course, introduce yourself before answering the question. Can a minor, right? You guys all minors? You guys all minors? Maybe not at this point, but can a minor selling these things, right? Like these drugs, be charged as an adult? Yes or no? You go to adult prison, right? Go ahead and call on people. It's a yes or no question. If I'm not here, or you can say, right? Sometimes, being charged like, oh, this is what we're doing. When you say your name, and say your yes.
There's something else.
All right. You can be charged as an adult, so very important. No, I have about 5 more good facts to give away, so make sure everyone's paying attention. All right, next question. I wasn't able to ask questions about the general's introduction, so hopefully everyone was paying attention then. What is the name of our Attorney General of Law? I'm gonna look at the people over here. Raise your hands. Oh. You want to introduce yourself, say your name, and then tell us. Yes, Douglas Boylan is the name of our attorney general. Everyone is paying attention, so we'll go back. All right, so the general talk about this. The Attorney General serves as the Attorney General for how many years? It's not 1 year, it's not 2 years. Say your name and tell us, how many years does an Attorney General serve?
My name is Alvin. This is the 4 years.
4 years, correct? Is elected to serve for 4 years on the election, right? And speaking of elections, let's see if everyone's paying attention over here. The general mentioned, right? Very likely your parents voted in an election, right? And very likely you were one of the candidates on that ballot. So my question to you guys, at what age can you vote in an election? All right. Vote in an election, you got one registered, right? And vote for your candidates. So I'm just gonna jump back to the topic of started looking at about you guys. It's all over So I'm gonna throw, all right, guys, I'm gotta get over here because, okay, I'm gonna throw a what if situation. Like, talk about what second bullying is, you know about what to do. Now it's a matter of deciding, when should I act, right? So I'm gonna throw a situation. Let's say you post something on your Facebook. I know you still use Facebook or like you. Okay. Say talk on Instagram. Okay. Let's say you post something on Instagram and one of your classmates is constantly commenting mean things about you, things that hurt your feelings constantly. Should you tell? Is it time to tell a vote? Yes or no? Okay. Go ahead and stand up, one of us, say your name, and it's a yes or no question.
My name is Benson. And my answer is yes.
Yes, right, who are you gonna tell?
I'm teacher of my parents.
It's constantly on the Instagram now. It's time it's on the road. It's time to report it. Alright, this is our last question. So that's all I can want. Anyone here use WhatsApp? I'm sure you do. I'll tell you. Mom's asking for your class. You say yes, you're in class. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the weather situation. Someone you know is constantly messaging you on WhatsApp. No one else is seeing it. It's just you and this person. But they're making threats. They're saying they're gonna hurt you, they're gonna beat you at the bus stop, and then you can still do that, right? But they're threatening you. Should we tell them, oh, it's time to try to get that?
Yes.
Okay, everyone is that in the right way. But in fact, the rats that are in the regime, right, it's time to tell them to go. Take screenshots, but of course, right, the people that have pictured. They joke about it, but yes, we're going to do it. But I can't about around so for the things.
Principal staff, we have some stickers and some giveaway gifts up here. If you guys can just make a nice line, I'm not sure if we have enough, but I mean, we'll get just everybody that looks up. So again, thank you very much. Thank you guys for being such a great audience and
I'm Dr. Ricky, our principal, our assistant principal, Mr. Bond, myself, the teachers, the staff, and the students. We would like to thank the office of the Attorney General, Attorney General Moylan, your team. Thank you very much. I mean, you can only imagine you're very busy. Very busy, and they took the time out to come here today, road runners, to share valuable information. So we hope that you walk away with information that you will carry with you, right? These are things we've already talked about, and it just goes to show they reconfirmed what we've been presenting to you all today. So again, Attorney General, your team, thank you so much for making the time for our road runners. Can we get a keep it up there? 1, 2, 3.
Get one stickers, we have some.
Guys, you can only get all stickers on that side as you exit quietly and orderly, all right? That's how I will wait. I'm still waiting. We're gonna do this by teacher and nice ladies and gentlemen, we will be passing things out. All right, these other things, we will be placing them in your boxes. So we all love stickers, right? It might just be getting some. All right, sure. Okay, so on your way out, you pull out, show them the road runner spirit, use your words. And thank you, teachers. From the back to the front, you can start exiting through those double doors or using the side door. Oh, friends, have a seat and wait for your teachers.